Happy, happy Turkey Day. Hunger pains will go away when you hear the pilgrims say it's Happy Turkey Day. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. That's just me, apparently. Super awkward. So, Michael is over there. I don't really know why he's not coming over here, but, you know. Hi. Michael? Are you?
Yeah, I was waiting to see what the first comments were from the sound check.
It just says sound check 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a lovely day and eating pie. I'm going to be eating pie later because I made a pie. It's a salted caramel apple pie. I'm pretty excited about it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday live stream.
Welcome to Pie Stream.
Or no, it's not Saturday.
It's not Saturday.
Thursday. Welcome to the Thanksgiving live stream. So we're doing this kind of the way we always do the Christmas one, where especially this year, we know there's a lot of people who are in weird situations this year. And we just wanted to have a few hours where everybody could just kind of hang out if you don't have anybody to hang out with.
You can hang out with us.
Yeah, you can hang out with us.
For better or worse.
And we were kind of rattling around like what we were going to talk about. Obviously, open Q&A is just fine. It's a whole thing. You can ask any question you want about anything, and we'll come up with our answer for it. But the grounding topic I thought we could all throw out there is stealth holiday movies. And Melinda came up with it just a few days ago.
So it's my fault.
Well, yeah.
Accidental Christmas movies.
Right,
Or
so,
accidental holiday movies.
Right. So movies set during, holidays in the latter end of the year, but that people don't necessarily recall, or maybe the movie itself wasn't even intended to be a holiday piece. There's a sampling of them up here, but we're going to be talking about, a good number of them. Shout out any ones that you recall. Now, here's the deal. We're not referring to movies that are just movies that you guys maybe in your personal lives happen to watch around the holidays. So, like, for example, when I get into the winter months, I tend to start enjoying war movies again for some reason. But I'm not putting up war movies as a holiday movie. What I mean is movies that actually have a holiday tie-in. What?
Dr. Coffin Nail says, Thanksgiving, not a good day to be my pants.
Wow.
Well, this year, if you're just hanging out, just at your house, you can not wear pants.
Yeah.
Or wear pajama pants, which is my favorite option, so that you can still be warm and cozy.
I don't have a problem with pants. What I have a problem with is today I'm having a terrible hair day.
I think it looks nice.
It's just awful.
Mine is pretty bad, but guess what? I don't care.
I looked in the mirror and I could see my hair giving me the middle finger. It was just like, not today, you jerk. And I'm like, ugh. Anyway, all right. So, do you have a movie that you would like to start with?
Well, I guess we can. There are some that are Thanksgiving movies, which those are a little more. It's weird to me that there are not more Thanksgiving movies that are, again, Thanksgiving adjacent. Mostly because for me, and I don't know about you and your growing up life, but for me, the family drama really happens more at Thanksgiving as opposed to Christmas. Because at least at Christmas, or whatever winter holiday your family celebrates, there are other, at least in the traditional American thing, there's all the gifts and there's other stuff to distract from actually having to talk to your family. Mm-hmm. And so Thanksgiving is just about food, which means you're sitting at a table and you're like forced to talk to people that you have very little in common with. And so that's always when the fighting starts, which always leads to fun movies,
Mm-hmm.
Like cool, awkward, things. So like my favorite Thanksgiving movie, of course, is the only Thanksgiving movie that I can think of off the top of my head without researching it online, and that is, of course, Addams Family Values. It's just the best. It's the best
Well,
Thanksgiving movie.
there's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Which I saw one time, but I didn't like it.
And then there's Dutch.
Is that Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, I do love Dutch.
So there's Dutch, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Addams Family Values. I know there are other movies that are set at Thanksgiving. I just can't think of them. Some movies have a big Christmas dinner scene, and so they get confused as Thanksgiving movies, like The Ref has a big Christmas dinner scene.
Yeah, it's to me memorable that it's Christmas because slipper socks, medium, like so they're opening gifts and there's the weird, she has the whole
I'm talking about the fact that there's a dinner scene.
Yeah, but at the dinner scene she's got that weird crown on her head, which is like I don't remember if it's Swedish, but it's some sort of Scandinavian like Christmas thing. Anyway, Matt Movie says Lethal Weapon is my favorite of the alternative Christmas movies. You want a shot at the title.
Matt, you have just pointed out where the movie loses me. That is a movie that I absolutely love as a director's cut until the fight in the lawn at the very end. That's the part where the movie completely loses me. Because I have a real, and I know we're supposed to be talking about Thanksgiving and holidays and stuff like that, but just to point out,
Lethal Weapon is definitely a Christmas movie.
It definitely is. But for some reason, even as a teenager, I couldn't make the logic leap to the fight at the end because all the cops are now around the yard, and Murtaugh is like, "No, I'll take responsibility for this. Everybody just stay back," even though there's moments where Riggs is almost killed by Gary Busey, and they're just letting this beatdown happen. And I'm kind of like, I don't think they'd let this fight go on like this. I think these police would bum rush this guy and stop it immediately. And so that's where I kind of lose, the movie loses me a little bit. But I love Lethal Weapon in the director's cut all the way up until that point. All the way up until that point.
How would you have ended the movie?
Well, I think the movie would have had to have ended maybe in a similar fashion, but without all the cops having shown up yet. The cops needed to show up right as the fight ended.
Right as the fight, yeah.
Yeah, the cops being all around there and letting it happen is the problem. It's not the fight itself that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the cops.
It doesn't age well either, that part.
Well, but I love Lethal Weapon, obviously.
Yeah.
I haven't bought it on advanced formats like Blu-ray and stuff because the director's cut has never been offered outside of DVD. And I'm like, well, you guys put out the director's cut on DVD. I fell in love with the director's cut. Now I don't want to watch any other version.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck with the DVD.
Sorry.
I know, life is hard. Life is hard.
Yeah, well, you never know. They may re-release.
Maybe.
You never know.
We never know.
But, another movie that is, I believe, set at Thanksgiving time, although it's not really, I wouldn't call it a Thanksgiving movie, but just in sort of going through my mental records of movies, I think Rocky is set at Thanksgiving because I remember there's the scene that Adrian cooks the turkey, right? Like, Paulie is like being a jerk and, talking about how, I don't know, something about the bird is dry, or I don't remember what, but
he's talking about how the turkey's dry or something like that, and he insults Adrian
and then Rocky 4 is at Christmas because there's the robot thing, right? It's not again lingered on, but I would say that Sylvester Stallone is a sleeper holiday movie star. Like you don't think about it, but he is in a ton of movies that are kind of holiday-ish.
You haven't mentioned a ton. You've mentioned 2.
Okay, so there's those 2 Rocky movies. There's First Blood is kind of set at Christmas.
Which is on the table right here.
Cobra is set at Christmas. Cobra.
All right, so
so like those are 3 of his biggest franchises from the 80s, and they're all holiday themed. Like not in your face. They're sort of like holiday adjacent, which is kind of what we're talking about.
Well, I think that Schwarzenegger gives him a run for his money in that department. I mean, you've got Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, but that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
like it's on purpose.
You've got Conan the Destroyer.
Okay, you're gonna have to defend that one.
It's a Hyborian Thanksgiving story.
Wow.
Just,
That's like Life Day is what that is.
in Conan the Barbarian, he does have turkey. Well, actually, it's a live.
Is that more like a Renfest thing, where he's just eating like a turkey leg?
It's actually a live buzzard that's trying to eat him.
Oh my god!
And he's crucified at the time, but he has a good bite out of it. Which
well,
is,
the crucifixion thing also makes it
kind
a little
of
bit
Christmassy
not
Thanksgiving
really.
kind of thing.
You're reaching. That's thin, Riggs.
I'm just
thin.
pointing that out there.
Even Keith says it's very thin, Riggs. Very thin. Yeah, Son-in-Law does take place at Thanksgiving.
Son-in-Law.
Yeah,
That's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Did we ever get that on?
I don't think we have it. That's why I didn't mention it.
Okay, I gotta get that.
I was texting Michael this morning all the movies that I was like thinking of.
You know what? Next week,
let's get a full Pauly Shore. Is it Pauly Shore?
Yes.
Pauly Shore's entire film catalog.
That would be a good live stream. Pauly Shore, the live stream.
I think so.
Because Kylie Minogue is in Biodome. We're getting distracted, but I'm just saying, like...
It's fine. It's fine. Let's get distracted.
If you hear that buzzing, that's a transformer for one of the lighting systems.
Transformers.
Anyway, all right.
It's Optimus Prime. He's back there. He's doing some woodworking. You know, he really needs to get it done. So we had to just let him...
One of the movies that I picked out that we hadn't seen in a list, which I found shocking because we tried to look up and make sure that we weren't missing any. I feel like Ghostbusters 2 is a holiday movie.
I saw that you put that on the table, and I was trying to remember...
Well, because it's supposed to be in the weeks leading up to New Year's.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, well, at least I think it is. Pretty sure it is. Isn't it in the weeks leading up to New Year's?
You would know way better than me.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have that totally wrong. But
it's got a lot of pretty lights on the car.
I thought it was during the holidays.
Yeah, Knives Out. Knives Out is Thanksgiving, right?
I don't remember what Knives Out is.
I'm pretty sure it's Thanksgiving, and that's why the family is
maybe
something. Or maybe it's just, I don't know. Chilling with the Weasel.
Now, I can say for certain that, for those of you who haven't seen it, Thin Man, the classic whodunit.
We're always going to push you to watch classic films.
You need to watch classic movies. The Thin Man with William Powell and Myrna Loy is set during Christmas, but it's not remembered for that. It's remembered for being a classic murder mystery movie.
I've got to go deal with my pie. So I'll be back in a moment.
Okay, well, I can't see your computer, so I'm going to have to move into another chair. All right. Looking at the comments right now. My favorite pie is probably like a chocolate cream pie. Probably, I'm more of a cake person than a pie person. I'm more of like a pumpkin bread person than a pumpkin pie person. And Broken Vader M. Catron, he's off, just sulking. Yeah, Dingo, we just talked about The Thin Man as a Christmas film. I want to upgrade my copy of this because it actually came out on Blu-ray a few months back through the Warner Archive collection, but they didn't bring out any of the other Thin Man movies yet, so I keep being paranoid that they're eventually going to release a Blu-ray set, and so I just want to swap out my sets all at once, but I might just spring and get Thin Man on its own. Let's see. Yes, Jack, that is Voyage of the Damned from Doctor Who on the far left. Or, sorry, my left, your right. The reason I have that up there is because everybody talks about that as, you know, the Titanic in space episode. They don't really... they don't actively recall or refer to it as a Christmas special, but it does take place at Christmas while having very little to do with Christmas overall. Unlike David Tennant's original Christmas special, which did take place on Earth at Christmas. This Christmas special sort of like diverged into a whole nother type of story, but I wanted it up here because it is a feature length. It is a feature length thing. What the heck is that?
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that my actual thing goes off this time, because last time it just said, okay, your timer's over, and then it doesn't make any sound, and that's problematic. So,
I think we have some super chats.
okay, sorry, I will jump on the super chat train. Let's see. Oh, we do have some super chats. All right. Worldwide Cock says Knives Out is set in Dude's birthday. That's why he's up late playing Go with his nurse, which is part of the mystery. It's a special occasion.
All right, well, no problem. Since that one was, we'll disqualify Knives Out,
Yeah,
and
I
we will
couldn't remember.
substitute Once Upon a Deadpool.
That's a lovely substitution.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Russ. Hi, Russ. Welcome to the chat. He says, Happy Thanksgiving, my friends.
Oh, cool. Hope you're doing well, man.
Worldwide Cock says, not to get pedantic, more important, Happy Thanksgiving about the Knives Out thing.
Oh, right. No, that's fine.
No, that's fine.
We weren't sure.
I was like on the fence because
Yeah, we were on
if
the
you
fence
look it
about
up
that.
online and if you put in like Thanksgiving movies, it pops up.
It pops
now,
up.
it might have been because it came out around Thanksgiving, or it might have some other reason why it came up because Google's broken. But I'm just saying, I was like, I don't remember there being like a big family meal, but there was a lot of family stuff, so I was like, maybe. Vinkman says Ghostbusters 2 takes place around Christmas and New Year's Eve.
That's what I thought.
Ah. You know what else takes place around that time? When Harry Met Sally. And
Yes.
You've Got Mail.
Yes. Well, yeah, You've Got Mail, which I don't own that movie. I don't hate it or anything, but I don't own it. I'd rather own When Harry Met Sally before I owned
I think
Got
I do
Mail.
have When Harry Met Sally.
Blu-ray. I don't think
No,
so.
not Blu-ray. Like a DVD somewhere.
Blech.
Look, it's one of those that you end up getting. You know, you just end up getting it.
Now,
So-
my argument when I see these lists and I see Gremlins on this list is not that Gremlins isn't a Christmas movie. It's that I don't believe Gremlins has been forgotten to be a Christmas movie. Now, I could have that totally wrong, but Gremlins was a Christmas movie through and through.
Yeah, but
And-
it's to me, it's not as on the nose as something like Elf, because it's not about Santa. It's not about Christmas. It just happens at Christmas.
Right, but Christmas is such a huge part of the story.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, this
Gizmo
is all
is a Christmas present. Like, it's this whole
Right.
thing that I don't see this as a stealth Christmas movie. Like, I don't see Christmas getting lost in the background of this movie the way I do some of these others. Like The Thin Man, it gets lost, and you know,
First Blood.
First
it gets
Blood
lost.
gets lost. Batman Returns almost in a way gets lost, like after the beginning. You know.
I guess I don't usually think of Gremlins first as a Christmas movie, although I will agree that it is very much a Christmas movie. Like,
Oh no,
but
I agree that it is. What I'm saying is it's not a lost Christmas movie. It's not
No.
a stealth Christmas movie.
I think some of these may or may not be stealth, but I just there's so many nuances to this, right? Like you can start nitpicking and going, well, this
It's-
one is this and this one is this, and
Like like for example, the reason that Die Hard is such an argument online about Christmas movie or not is because the Christmas thing is at the beginning and the Christmas thing is at the end with the credits music. But all in the middle, you forget that you're watching a Christmas movie. You are watching an action
ho
film.
ho ho. Now I have a
Yeah,
machine
there's
gun.
little kernels, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there
So-
is a great website that I encourage everyone to go check out, and I'll have to look it up to get the actual address. But it's really funny. I saw it earlier today when I was looking this all up, and it was I'll have to. I don't know how I'll put it up, but it's basically analyzing whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie using data. And so the guy like writes this long like synopsis of it, and it's kind of interesting because it's kind of a joke, but he's like seriously doing it. Like he writes out all the things. So he's, you know, it's how many times the word Christmas, or I think it's the word Christmas, is said in the movie versus how many times other words are said in the movie. And Christmas is said more than a lot of other words. There's just all these things where he's counting things and he's analyzing things and he's defining terms and defining how he's measuring this. And so, and even the guy that made it makes a big point of saying that it's a Christmas movie.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't know, to each their own, but Vinkman says Norman Osborn figures out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man during Thanksgiving dinner in the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. That's a nice deep cut, Vinkman.
That's really cool. I did not remember that, but good point.
And in terms, someone just mentioned one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Trading Places.
Yes. I
which
should have
is-
brought that up here. Let me go get it.
It's so amazing. I love to watch it every year. The movies that I watch every year, some are definitely Christmas movies. Like, I love. Look, don't judge me. I love Home Alone. It's probably for a super on the nose Christmas movie. It's probably my favorite. The score doesn't hurt. The score is absolutely. It's a wonderful Christmas score. Just I listen to it around this time of year every year. And then I love The Ref. It's probably it's got to be up there. Scrooged is a great Christmas movie. I saw that in the theater. Trading Places. So yeah, all of those things are.
do not yet own Trading Places on high def.
No, I have it on DVD.
Okay, so that's an oversight we need to correct.
Raymond says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Michael and Melinda. Great to see you both. Would you consider LA Confidential a Christmas movie since it started on Christmas Eve, though it doesn't stay on the holidays? A lot of people do consider it that."
Yeah, they do. You know what's funny? I saw that movie one time when it was,
Me too.
really popular, and I didn't get it. Like I don't hate it or anything. Like I don't sit around like going, "Ooh, that LA Confidential movie." Like it's out of sight, out of mind for me. I did not understand the hype when it was out, and so in many ways that was like when The Usual Suspects came out. When The Usual Suspects came out,
A movie I've never seen, by the way.
Usual Suspects, Fargo, and LA Confidential all qualify in this nebulous place where everybody loved it. Everybody wanted to get together and watch it. And I'm just like, is this it?
Oh, you didn't like Fargo either?
I just,
Oh, well, they do have those accents that you're not super fond
I'm
of.
just not, I couldn't plug into the stories on all of them. I get the twists and all that kind of stuff. But yes, you're right about the holiday tie-in for sure. Yeah.
Worldwide Cock says, "I was last week years old when I found out that the Star Wars holiday special was originally broadcast at Thanksgiving. Still a Christmas fave in this household, though." Yeah. So Michael, when I first pitched this topic, was like, "Well, this is a Thanksgiving stream. Why are we talking about Christmas movies?" And so the reason why is because Thanksgiving, of course, marks the official. It's okay to do Christmassy, decorate for Christmas, put out the Christmas stuff. Like people always complain if you do stuff before Thanksgiving, but like literally, like a lot of people put their Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving. So all that,
Yep.
the carols, all that stuff happens after this. And so a lot of people do love to watch like sort of, especially more offbeat Christmas movies. If you're not a Hallmark Christmas movie fan like I am, like maybe you want to watch Die Hard again, or maybe you want to, like maybe you hadn't thought about Gremlins in a while. Sometimes I kind of forget about it and you're like, oh man, yeah, that would be fun to watch sometime like in the next couple weeks. So we thought we'd bring some of these up and maybe make you go, oh yeah, I'd love to rewatch that like this year. So especially since we're all stuck at home and
Yeah.
streaming TV shows and movies is pretty much what we're doing.
I kept thinking about series, like trying to like I would think about Beverly Hills Cop, the series, and go, was any one of those set during the holidays? And then I'd run through it. Then I go, nope. Moving on to the next one. Like, is there a Nightmare on Elm Street set during a holiday? I can't think of one.
I don't think so. No, there are a lot of horror movies that are intentionally Christmas movies. It was funny because all the lists online bring up a movie called Black Christmas. It's an 80s horror movie. I think of other, like Silent Night, Deadly Night is probably the very first slasher movie that comes to my mind. But there's a terrible movie, you guys. It's called think it's called Jack Frost. It's not the one with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
There's
about.
another one, and it's like a
Yeah.
killer snowman, and he's going around like murdering people.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, there are a lot of like horror movies, but I think those are like someone says Thanksgiving. Yeah, there's some cheesy stuff. Gochatron says Iron Man 3 takes place around Christmas. Disney Plus actually listed in their holiday movie section.
Yeah, that's a Shane Black trope. Between Lethal Weapon, that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, all of his movies seem to take place around Christmas. I'm sure if he had had more clout when he was acting in Predator, he would have had Predator take place around Christmas as well. He's just got this thing for writing stories around Christmas time. It's weird.
Beta Ray Bob says, I think there's at least one Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV episode that was set around Thanksgiving. Yes, they have a Thanksgiving episode where Buffy uses the phrase, it's a yam plan, I believe is what she says. She's trying to make this perfect Thanksgiving dinner. And of course, that doesn't work out because, let's face it, has any dinner that you've tried to make that's a Thanksgiving dinner ever been perfect? Like, it's so hard to do that. Like, it's really hard. Like, I'm really hoping that my pie turns out. Like, and it doesn't really matter because Michael doesn't even like pie that much. So I'm just kind of like, I just kind of want to accomplish it more for like baking purposes. But
yeah,
yes,
you're testing your skills. You're testing your mettle.
yeah. I wish there was something that I could do with the pie when I was done. I wish I could send you all a lovely piece of salted caramel apple pie. But I can't.
Now, there's one film that we have not discussed yet that you need to talk about, and that's Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, yeah. So I know it's probably, like, a lot of people don't love the movie, but I really love Long Kiss Goodnight. Even with the very upsetting deer running over scene in the movie. I was just kind of like, either get up and walk out of the room while that happens or whatever. But I do really love that movie because it is, it's Samuel Jackson just being Samuel L. Jackson, like just being himself like he is in so many other movies. He's kind of the same guy as in Pulp Fiction in a lot of ways.
Right.
But I don't know. I love the fact that they have like a female lead as like this diehard type of character who's, she's just really great. I think Gina Davis did an amazing job in the role. I mean, it's you didn't like it though, did you?
I didn't have a problem with the movie. It's just not one of those movies that's been in my rotation regularly throughout my life.
I saw it in the theater, and I think I just kind of was like, wow, this was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. And it kind of, I didn't have any expectations for it to be very good. And so the fact that I enjoyed it was like, wow, that was an enjoyable experience. And that's so rare for me that I was like, okay, I love this movie now.
I wasn't ever really the biggest Rennie Harlin fan as the director. But that was
poor Rennie Harlin getting fired off of Alien 3.
Well,
Rennie Harlin,
his earlier stuff was better than his later stuff. I'll say that much, and that was some of his earlier stuff. So,
Chris Worsley says, "I love The Long Kiss Goodnight. It was one of Sam Jackson's funniest performances." I agree. I think he's very funny. I can't really quote any of the lines that he says in the movie for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's great.
Juan makes a good point. We had this in our list. He's even in the thumbnail. George Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service from the Bond series is a Christmas movie, oddly enough. And
yes, Grumpy Old Men, it does have a Thanksgiving scene. You're right.
Yes, Grumpy Old Men has a Thanksgiving scene.
Which we do have Grumpy Old Men over there.
We do.
Because I love that movie.
We have.
In fact, I might want to watch that movie later.
Well, we have them both over there, but the second one isn't really a holiday movie.
Right. Any movie can be a holiday movie if you watch it at a holiday. But
yeah. And then Juan mentioned another one. I'm trying to see.
The World Is Not Enough.
The World Is Not Enough. I thought the only Christmas tie-in there was that her name was Christmas. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it said at Christmas too, but I thought it was just that her name was Christmas Jones.
Tronzoid says The Doors has a Thanksgiving scene. Yes, and that scene is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. I can't quote that part either, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
While You Were Sleeping has been brought up. Scent of a Woman has been brought up.
Eyes Wide Shut is a holiday movie, but I hate it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it as well.
That's unfortunate. The
I know.
Shining is a holiday movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of Kubrick, The Shining is Christmas, I believe.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't really go well.
Well, that often happens, you know.
True. And we have The Shining over there. I could have gone and gotten it.
You know, guys, I want to take this moment and give a little short PSA about how to deal, like, for those of you who are going to be around your families and, you know, sometimes things happen, you know, when you're having dinner with your family or hanging out with your family and, you know, Uncle Joe's had a little too much wine and, you know, people start talking about stuff that they really shouldn't be talking about, whether it's, you know, skeletons in the family closet or politics or religion or, you know, whatever, any of those things that you're not supposed to talk about in polite company. And so it gets impolite very quickly. And so years ago, I was at a Thanksgiving dinner and it started getting really awkward and people were talking about stressful, upsetting things. And everyone was, you could tell a lot of people were getting uncomfortable around the table. And I don't know why, but it just occurred to me to start singing very loudly John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. And I started off kind of slowly, like softly, and then sort of just built. And the people who like wanted to change the subject sort of realized what I was doing, and they started singing along with me because everyone knows the words. And it's just surreal enough that it kind of subverted that whole argument. And so now, anytime I'm at any kind of event, I'm very tempted to do that. Just start singing that song, and then everyone will join in, and everything can be happy again. So that's my Thanksgiving gift to you guys, is that's a way to get out of an awkward conversation.
That would be very effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might also make your family hate you, but...
Because they already hated you anyway.
Yeah, well, they already hate me anyway, so I don't really care.
I didn't mean you personally. I meant the general you.
I did. All right, so let's see. What do we got?
What do we have?
Well, we just have a lot of people yelling out movies and...
Well, what do we got? We got Ice Harvest. Let's see.
You guys own the Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore?
We don't own Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore, but I'm very aware of it, and I didn't put it up here because it's literally a Christmas movie. Like, it's in the title. It's about Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not a stealth Christmas movie.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone says you're looking smart, Michael. Matt says.
Thank you.
He's modified and molted into his wintertime.
Molted into my winter wear.
Winter wear. That blue-gray jacket that he wears all the time in the winter.
These are my boys. This is the jacket worn by my boys.
Yeah, that's true. Maki Shepherd says, what about Rankin Bass Mayflower?
I'll have to look that one up. I'm not familiar
I don't know
with
that one.
But I can infer from the title what it's about. But I haven't seen it.
Matt Hall says, isn't that from Ernest? Is there an Ernest movie that's a Christmas movie? But it's if it is, then it's an obvious Christmas movie.
There's Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
But that's in the title.
So, Batman Returns.
Uh-huh.
Remind me how, like, what part of, is it Christmas that is it during Christmas, or they're just, like, much like First Blood, there's just Christmas trees everywhere?
It's during Christmas, and there's Christmas trees, but there's, like, the big lighting of the tree scene, and there's...
Right.
And there's, you know, her breaking into the store at Christmas time, and, you know, Alfred carrying big stack of presents back to the manor, and...
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And Batman beating up clowns, which I never tire of. Michael Keaton just beating up clowns in the snow. And I know that some people say, oh, he's too brutal to be the real Batman. And I'm like, you know what? I'll make an exception when he sets that guy on fire with the Batmobile's turbine engine. I just think that's hilarious.
You just always think it's hilarious in movies
when people get
set on fire. particularly if they like jump out of a window on fire.
God forbid you've ever seen footage of real people getting set on real fire, but it doesn't look like the Hollywood version.
No.
Hollywood stuntmen getting set on fire and the way that they've been trained to do it is hilarious, and I always laugh. It's just funny.
You do always laugh. In fact, I kind of think it's funny, but I almost think it's more funny to watch you laughing at.
And every now and then, there are some moments in certain movies where, because the other thing I find really funny is Hollywood defenestration. Anytime somebody just
That's
jumps,
what I said. When it's someone's on fire jumping out of a window.
but rarely do the two intersect.
Yeah, but there are moments.
Every now and then,
he about falls out of his chair.
Every now and then, there's a movie where a dude is completely on fire and then jumps out of a window, and it's the best.
MT Kim says, "Oi, Batman Returns is awful."
Nah.
Nah.
Batman Returns is great, but you know, you go live without this gold nugget in your life.
That's
you go
right.
right ahead. I'll continue to enjoy it.
I absolutely. That is my favorite film version of Catwoman. I have yet to see any others that come remotely close.
Yep.
The only other ones that I enjoy are animated series versions. Several different ones of that are good. But like in terms of like live action, nailed it. She just absolutely nailed it.
I have absolutely no problem with Batman Returns at all.
She has like I almost want to say she has an Eartha Kitt quality to her. She has a leonine face anyway, so I feel like she was just perfectly cast. And Catwoman is my favorite character from that whole thing, and so I love that they nailed it. Vinkman says, one of these years I plan on going through all the Christopher Reeve Superman movies and throw in Supergirl and Santa Claus the movie to see how it fits in with the rise and fall of the Salkind Superman series.
Well, my friend, if you plan on doing that, I would also highly I would also highly recommend that you start your marathon with the 3 and 4 Musketeers with Michael York. Start it with those by Richard Lester, and I believe the Salkinds. Yeah, the Salkinds and Richard Lester in the mid-'70s. Then watch Superman the movie, then Superman 2 when Richard Lester takes over. So you'll be familiar with Richard Lester's directorial style, and then you'll be like, why did this happen? It's pretty fascinating.
Worldwide Cox yells Julie Newmar. Yeah, I was thinking more films, and I don't remember if the Catwoman is in the Adam West Batman film.
Nope.
I don't think she
actress,
is.
Lee Merriweather.
Yeah, I just I'm not trying to take anything away from any of the actresses who were on that show. It's a great show. I love Adam West Batman, so don't think that I'm not loving that. I guess to me, those characters are just not developed in the same way. So what I love about this movie is her whole backstory is so well done to me in this film that it's a treat to watch. And I also am not a huge fan of the Penguin, but I think you're supposed to hate him and be super grossed out by him. So I would tolerate any of that just to watch every single scene with Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie. It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
And also Christopher Walken's in it.
Oh my God, I know.
Right?
So great. Yes. A World Made of Cardboard says, wasn't there a Batman animated series movie that took place at Christmas? Might be wrong.
It was released on Christmas Day, Mask of the Phantasm. I can't remember if it took place at Christmas, although that wouldn't surprise me. But it's a great movie from the animated series. It's the only theatrically released movie from the animated series. Released on Christmas Day. Can't remember if it was Christmas themed though.
Worldwide Cock says, tough but fair. I retract my Newmar shouting. I mean, let's all shout Julie Newmar's name, though, because she's awesome. Like, definitely not, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from her or Lee Merriweather or Eartha Kitt. Was there another one?
No, those are the 3
so,
classic ones.
I think all of them are awesome. They brought different nuance.
What Melinda's trying to do is rightfully take away from
every other modern
Anne Hathaway.
And, I mean, I don't really blame Halle Berry for that movie, but
Well, I didn't even remember that going into this discussion. That's what's shocking.
I remember it because it made me really angry, not because of her, but whoever wrote that movie,
and
then whoever directed it, and then everything to do with it.
Yeah.
She did the best she could with the script. I do not blame her at all. I'm just saying that movie was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And
killed her career.
I mean, and it's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's unfortunate for her, but it's also unfortunate for the character, because it could have been such a cool, thing. Like I said, I love Catwoman. I was so excited, and I already had really bad feelings about how it was going to be just seeing the costume.
Oh, I know. It was like, who is conceptualizing this?
Like someone who wanted a sexy, slutty outfit to wear at Halloween.
Yeah, it's such a mess. It's such a mess.
So Matt brings up Jingle All the Way. It's been mentioned several times. So, have you seen that movie?
I saw it in theater.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Little did I know that I was watching Anakin Skywalker in one of his earlier roles, which George Lucas saw that movie and was like, he's really good. I'm going to cast him as... And it's like, oh, no.
I assume this is Hayden Christensen?
No, this is Jake Lloyd. He's like this big.
Oh. I haven't seen the movie.
It's
I don't know.
It's about Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to get a hot action figure called Turbo Man right before, like, on Christmas Eve. And it's like the hottest thing, and it's already sold out everywhere.
Okay.
And his kid is Jake Lloyd. And Phantom Menace didn't exist yet. This was like...
Oh, it's a better time.
And we didn't even know he was going to be cast in it. It was before there was even any casting announcement. So it was just like... This thing came out the Christmas of my senior year in high school. And the shocking part about it is that Turbo Man toy actually came out as a merchandising thing for the movie. And at the time, it just jammed up shelves because the movie wasn't really that big a hit. Now, 25 years on,
Does he like have a gun and like...
No.
That would have been awesome.
He's just a dad. It's like his next attempt at Kindergarten Cop. And Sinbad is in it. And Sinbad is a rival dad who also wants a Turbo Man for his kid.
I met Sinbad once. He was really nice.
And so he and Arnold are running all around town trying to sabotage one another to find the one last Turbo Man. Well, that Turbo Man figure...
So it was kind of trying to do the Buzz Lightyear thing and failing.
The Turbo Man figure, which wasn't worth beans back in 96 or whatever it was, is now worth a fortune.
Is Phil Hartman in that movie too?
Probably, I can't remember.
Matt Hall says he is. Oh, Phil Hartman. Connor says, hi, Melinda, Michael, and all American RetroBlasting viewers. Happy Thanksgiving from across the pond. Well... Yeah, Thanksgiving is not my favorite holiday for a lot of reasons. But what I do love is baking pies, and watching and discussing movies, which is why that's what we're doing since we can't see our families anyway. But yes, Thanksgiving.
Keith, wasn't that movie a Shaquille O'Neal movie called Kazam? Was Sinbad in that? I know that Shaquille O'Neal did a movie, Kazam, where he was a genie, but I don't recall Sinbad being a genie. I could be wrong.
Tronzoid says, question for Melinda, have you acquired any more old Christmas catalogs? No, I got one for every year. There are still more that I could get, but I feel like I've got most years covered by at least one. Now, of course, there are at least 3 or 4 catalogs you can get. You can get Sears, you can get JCPenney, you can get Montgomery Ward. There's all these different catalogs, and they all kind of have different things. But for the most part, the big stuff is going to be in, just any one of those. So I haven't gotten any more. But I wouldn't turn one down, is all I'm saying. I have to go run upstairs and take my pie out of the oven.
I'm trying to figure out this whole Kazam thing. All right, let's work out this whole Kazam thing. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Mandela effect. That's right. The opening of Brazil is set at Christmas. That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Am I going crazy now? Was there actually a Sinbad genie movie? Jimmy, Melinda, and I got married last month. Shazam with Sinbad did not exist. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, George. That is correct. Yeah. We will do a review of the Spider-Man 60s television show. I love that cartoon. It was one of the first cartoons I ever saw as a child. I have the whole set on DVD. I'll be doing a review of that in much the way that I've just recently done in Humanoids and Robotech. I'll be doing a proper review of that on video. Yes, Wolfie, good point. Star Trek Generations is a Christmas movie in some respects, which, yeah. Retro Wrestling, I will defer to Melinda on if Rocky IV is a Christmas movie. I'll let her answer that. Cygnus, the reason I have Doctor Who there is because there's an in-joke in the live streams that there's always something Kylie Minogue in the live streams. It's usually on my shirt. But because that is a Christmas special that doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, and it's feature length, and it has Kylie Minogue in it and on the cover, I put it on the table. So let's not be pedantic, okay? There's a reason for everything. Michael, do you really think the Nick Hammond Spider-Man was that bad? I quite liked it at the time. I don't recall ever making a lot of comments about the Nick Hammond live-action Spider-Man. I've never made a video about it either, so I don't know where you're inferring that I said it was, quote, that bad. You're going to have to cite quotes from me that I clearly don't remember saying. The DeLorean, Dehenik. The DeLorean's good. I really need a lift, and I'm going to have to work on that next year to get a proper lift so that I can do the work on it that I want to do. Tim and I are going to try and install a Hyena carburation system on it as well. See if we can get it back on the road. Be Kind Rewind. I have not seen the new Animaniacs show. I just don't think Animaniacs ages that well. I was a huge fan of it when it was out in the 90s. And then afterward, when I would go back and watch some of it, I was kind of like, ugh. Like, I don't hate it or anything, but I just don't have much of an interest in revisiting it. And this rebooted show was just kind of like, I hope it's great for people that watch it. I'm just not in that mindset much these days. No, Amsterdam, we didn't forget to put Scrooged on display. You got to remember, we don't own everything. So we're talking about more movies than we can show. If this was about all the Christmas movies ever and they all have to be on the table, that's a little much of a tall order, isn't it? I mean, that's a little extreme. Raymond, thank you for the super chat. Michael, have you seen the film Joyeux Noël about a Christmas truce of 1914 World War I? Yes, I have seen that. I'm very aware of that little part in history. Cygnus, I think I have the Doctor Who magazine with Kylie Minogue on it. Yeah, because I have the poster in the recording room. Mandela Effect. Worldwide Cox, thank you for the super chat. He says, Mandela Effect with that Sinbad Genie movie. It's Dolly's braces all over again. Let's see. Yes, we have It's a Wonderful Life on 4K. It is a genuine Christmas movie. That's why it's not up here.
Right. Is Crocodile Dundee a Christmas movie?
Matt? I'm trying to remember that. I mean, I know that...
Like when they come back to New York?
Maybe it's Christmas time? Maybe it is.
I honestly can't recall, and it's weird because we just recently watched that movie, but...
Right. Now remember, guys, like Rick, I see he's talking about Christmas Story and everything like that, and that's fine, and talk about your favorite Christmas movies all you want, but just so you know, this is all about stealth Christmas movies up here on the table, so... I have not seen the Seth Rogen Green Hornet film.
Seth Rogen
Seth Rogen.
did a Green Hornet movie?
Yes. You need to speak into the mic. If you're going to speak that low, you got to speak.
I am speaking into this mic. That was funny. You've got it turned weird. Kind of.
Romancing the Stone is a Christmas movie? Is it?
Child's Play is definitely a Christmas movie. You are absolutely right about that because Chucky is the gift for, and what a gift he was to all of us.
Vinkman says he thinks we missed one of his super chats.
Use the mouse.
Sorry about that, Vinkman. He says, thanks for the super chat. He says, I have a friend who has a headcanon theory that Santa Claus the movie takes place in the Christopher Reeve Superman movie continuity. It's very possible given how similarly they produced and made their movies look, the Salkinds back then. It's possible.
I've never seen Santa Claus the movie, so I can't.
With Dudley Moore as the rogue elf that makes the machine that makes all the toys, and John Lithgow as the evil business owner who wants Dudley Moore's technology.
Maybe I did see this, but when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it since, so I really don't remember it as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, when people keep saying that, all it comes to my mind is the Santa Claus with. Sorry, gotta go back up and take my pie out.
Kuda, you're asking why we're streaming today. It's not Saturday. Yeah, we know it's not Saturday. And on top of that, we said in the live stream last Saturday that we would be doing a Thanksgiving Day stream for everybody on top of this coming Saturday's stream. So open up your ears. We've posted it everywhere. This was not, a surprise. Let's see. It's not Christmas time until Ernest saves it. Well, yeah, Bjorn, that is a true Christmas movie. Invasion USA is a Christmas movie. I forgot about that, and I have that on Blu-ray. Oh, man. Yep, Dutch, and people are talking about Invasion USA, yeah. Schwarzenegger's Christmas movie, End of Days. Oh, yeah. I saw that in the theater. Not a huge fan of that movie, gotta say. Like, that was on Schwarzenegger's downswing. What's your favorite Tim Burton Batman movie? I like Batman Returns. That's not taking anything away from Batman. I like them both. I own them both. But you're asking me to pick one over the other. I'm going to pick Batman Returns. It's just got more going on. It's got more clowns for him to beat up and more clowns for him to set on fire. And it's got Catwoman, in it with that, awesome bullwhip and stuff. And it's just a great movie. Let's see. Oh, The French Connection had a scene at Christmas time. I was not aware of that. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a Christmas movie. God, it's amazing how many of these films are set at Christmas time. Good luck, Matt. Good luck. That's right, Amsterdam Comic Geek. It is always good to have more clowns to set on fire in a movie. As far as this 70s Spider-Man thing, you said you were interested if you said people seem to dislike it, so I was interested if you agree with everyone else. The reason I was confused was because your phrasing was pretty direct in saying, Michael, do you really think the Nick Hammond Spider-Man was that bad? But no, I looked forward to watching that when I could catch it, but they didn't play it in my market very much in Nashville when I was a kid. I never could catch it. I was aware of it. I never got to see it all that much. Yeah, Matt, Kylie was wonderful in Voyage of the Damned, and I was really glad to see that people have started to come around about that. I know it kind of got dogged on there for a little while in the intervening years, but I've seen some YouTube reviewers individually over the last few months start talking about it as like not as bad as people remember it being. I didn't think it was bad at all. I thought it was great. Let's see. Oh, that's right. 8 Crazy Nights does have a Christmas scene in it. Oh, that Ratnick. I forgot about Goodfellas. Maki, yeah, Season's Greetings on Robotech, but that's more of a TV show. I mean, I know I have Doctor Who up here, so I'll acknowledge it, but even in the title, Season's Greetings, whereas that's called Voyage of the Damned, this is called Season's Greetings, so you know that it's going to be about Christmas. Do you want you want this chair now?
Yeah.
All right, well, you get to... I want something to drink since you have something to drink, so I'm going to go get something to drink.
Okay. Did you already read this Jurassic World super chat? Okay. Michael Hinkson says, Happy Thanksgiving, Mike and Melinda, from a crisp and cold Reno, Nevada. Is Jurassic World a Christmas movie due to the fact that it takes place over Christmas break? So, I mean, this is all super arbitrary, right? Like, I think for me, for it to be a Christmas movie, or at least a Christmas adjacent movie, yeah, the timing of when it occurs is one thing, but I mean, you know, having scenes that sort of have, at least in the background, you see the windows, like in Cobra, for example, that's really a reach because the only thing that really happens in that movie that makes it Christmas is that the windows are painted like they say Merry Christmas in the store at the beginning where there's like that big shootout. You know, there are things like different levels of, you know, for Die Hard, it's a lot more of a Christmas movie, right? Like, and Lethal Weapon has, you know, Christmas song as the opening music. And so, I mean, I guess I don't really know if I've even seen that movie. So you'd have to tell me, like, does anything Christmas related actually happen? Like, or is it just sort of like in the background there are Christmas trees around? Or you'd have to tell me. Pretty sure, Wolfie says, pretty sure Godfather has some Christmas scenes in it as well. Possibly part 2. You may be right. It's been a while since I've seen the Godfather series, but it wouldn't be surprising. I think it's probably pretty well in the background. Full Metal Jacket, Today is Christmas. They sing Happy Birthday to Jesus. Yes, that's right. I do remember that. So that's another... is that Kubrick?
Yes, Full Metal Jacket is Kubrick.
Yeah, so that's another Kubrick movie that's sort of Christmas adjacent. Zathra says, The Night the Reindeer Died, awesome movie. Sounds...
I haven't seen that one.
Me neither. Bunyan Snipe says American Psycho, which I'm not a fan of the movie, but yes, I do believe that it is... it's set at Christmas, or there's something to do with Christmas in that movie. And I only know that because I read about it when I was looking online for movies this morning. Portland 182 says Life of Brian is a Christmas movie.
Well, yeah.
Again, any movie is a Christmas movie.
It's set in biblical times.
It's kind of like any book is a children's book if the kid can read. It's kind of like that. So, Unholy Passion 84 says Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah, I mentioned that one earlier. There are a few like horror movies, certainly 80s slasher flicks that are set at Christmas, and I think much like the action genre, I think a lot of those types of movies like to put their movie to be set at Christmas because it's such a clash of ideas, because Christmas being all about, you know, being nice and kindness and all these types of feelings. So if you put a slasher movie or an action flick with like machine guns and all that kind of stuff set at that time, the irony sort of hits you over the head a little bit. So
I would agree with that.
I think that's probably also why so many 80s big action movies are set at Christmas, is to sort of point out even more so how extreme, it sort of sets that
Mm-hmm.
against the backdrop of something lovely.
Bjorn is asking what our favorite Christmas-themed episode of any television show is. I really like that Justice League one where Superman takes Martian Manhunter home to Kansas for the holidays.
Me too.
That one's really good.
I love Martian Manhunter in that series. So great.
And he discovers Oreos and cats.
Yeah, it's funny because Martian Manhunter, so I read the Sandman series, the Neil Gaiman Sandman comic series back in the early 90s when it came out, and was reading it like as it was coming out. And in the first book, there is Martian Manhunter appears because it was a DC Vertigo title that he was able to pull in characters from the DC universe. And so Martian Manhunter's there. Well, I at the time had no exposure to any other comics, and so I didn't know who Martian Manhunter was. So that all just went right by me, and I didn't remember it. Well, so fast forward to recently when they released the Audible Sandman books, and Martian Manhunter's in it, and it was like, oh my God, he is. So it was like, it was a real treat because now I have the context of all of those characters.
Right.
Because not just him, there are a number of others as well. So it's pretty cool.
We have a nice comment from, go back up slightly, Vintage Toy Kid.
Vintage Toy Kid says, hi, Michael and Melinda. I'm a Canadian, but I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, and I really hope you guys are doing well. I wish you all the best from the bottom of my heart. Well, thank you, Vintage Toy Kid. Jason Anderson says, Misty, Santa Claus conquers the Martians for the Roadhouse Christmas Carol. Yes, someone sent I can't remember, a good friend of mine, a guy I met in an elevator one time. This is literally how I met him. Not like that. Literally, I was working at the hospital, and my badge was on I had a Firefly lanyard. And it was sort of my, like, low-key way of being a Firefly fan. This was long ago. This was before you and I even met. And he was in the elevator with me. He was like, Firefly. And I was like, nobody knows what that is. And he was like, yeah. So we had this conversation. And somehow in that short period of time, he was working at the hospital. We traded, like, Facebook things. And I'm still friends with him, like, all these years later. So he sent me a link to a great a choir singing the Mystery Science Theater Roadhouse Christmas song, which go look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's really great. Zathra61 says, any Walker, Texas Ranger Thanksgiving episode is the best. Oh. I would believe that. Isn't, what is it called? Invasion USA? Isn't that a...
we have that on Blu-ray, too.
Yeah, I think that's
Why do we have that on Blu-ray and not Trading Places?
Oversight. Matt Schumann says, I love the Peanuts holiday collection. Yeah, it's great. I love the Garfield
Halloween.
The Halloween. Isn't there a
Yes, there's a
Thanksgiving?
Garfield No, there's a Garfield.
I know there's a Christmas.
Yeah.
The Garfield Christmas is...
I don't remember if there's a Thanksgiving or not. I would have to believe there is because it's about food, and Garfield's all about food.
Violent Frog says, favorite Misty song, mine's I Wish I Was Back in Old Canada. Yeah, I'm forbidden from singing that again on the live stream, but I have sung that before. Kenny Long says, I wish Trading Places was available on Blu-ray as well.
It's coming. Like, it's coming soon. Paramount. Let me go grab the information. I'll be a river to the pop
Kirk
culture
Unit, provide the information. Castaway? I haven't seen that movie. It's one of those movies that I just somehow never saw, and it's like everyone in the world's seen it but me. So let's see. Vin's Workshop says, what is your favorite comedy Christmas movie? Mine is Uncle Buck, Scrooged, Christmas Vacation, and Trading Places. I do love Uncle Buck. That is a great holiday movie. I think we mentioned earlier, Dutch is a great movie. I mean, look, you guys, I watch any Christmas or holiday themed movie. Like, I really will. Michael will tell you, I've watched some real dogs. Like, I watched I watch like Hallmark Christmas movies and like all of those, and a lot of them are very hard to get through because they're so bad. They're so formulaic. I watched one called The Christmas Cabin.
Mm.
Michael sort of walked in, like he was sort of passing through the room a couple of times, and he was just like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen you watch." It was profoundly bad. So I enjoy that in a Mystery Science Theater-esque kind of a way. So
Paramount Pictures is coming out with Trading Places Blu-ray on December 1st. So it's 1 week away. 5 days away.
Scuba Pete says, "I've never seen Titanic. I'm pretty sure how it ends." Yeah, I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, right? Like I feel like I kind of get the gist of Castaway as well. So, and it's a Tom Hanks movie. So
I saw Titanic in the theater. Once was enough.
Me too.
I don't need to see it again. It's, to me, in a very strange way, like, even there are movies that are one and done as far as viewing, and they don't even have to be about the same things or even have the same tone or anything like that. So, for example, I put Titanic up there with Requiem for a Dream and Schindler's List. Like, I've seen them. I don't need to see them again. I never am going to want to watch those again. I'm never going to want to sit through it again, ever. I will live the rest of my life and be okay not seeing those three movies ever again. Not because I think they sucked.
But don't you think that like a lot of people feel that way about Titanic because I saw it in the theater. I don't hate it or anything.
I don't hate the movies I just mentioned.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't hate it, but I really also don't want to watch it again just because I kind of know what's coming, and it's like watching Old Yeller. It's like,
yeah,
you've seen it, you know what it's about.
Yeah.
Some people watch it every year, and I'm like, that's dark, man.
I can't do it. It's like, I grew up with Old Yeller on VHS. Have I ever owned it on any official home video format? No.
No. But what's funny about that is when you hear George Lucas in the prequel like time period talking about how he so wants to be as good as Titanic in terms of like box office and all that, and love or hate the prequels, they're much more rewatchable than Titanic.
Oh yeah, by far.
So I think that's an interesting thing. I hope George Lucas kind of got back to that. Like after time passed, maybe he sees like the rewatchability is a lot higher on something like that.
Right.
Vinkman says there was a Garfield Thanksgiving special where Garfield was put on a diet right before Thanksgiving. I thought there was. It's not as good as the Christmas or Halloween, but it's good. Jody says great but old holiday movie, animated 1982, The Snowman. Oh my god,
yeah, The
I
Snowman.
love that. Yeah.
It was based on a book, I believe.
Yeah.
And the book had beautiful artwork.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. Good choice, Jody. Michael Johnson says I love the Plinkett review of Titanic. Yeah. That's really good. I think they have an episode that I haven't watched yet, so I'm kind of been saving that for later today or tomorrow. Adam Hodgins says I saw Titanic 5 times in theaters, not because I enjoyed the movie, but because the girl I took the first time I went with got angry when I laughed when that dude smacks his head off the propeller. So you went 5 more times, or?
Yeah, I'm not tracking why you would end up there 4 more times after that, but we'll go with it.
I mean, let's see. Matt Schumann says, saw Titanic in the theater. Someone sitting in front of me said, "Is it going to sink?" Maybe he was like, get on with it. Go ahead and sink.
Right, yeah. Is this thing going to sink already or what? I got places to be.
It's sort of like the end of like Return of the King, where it's like, are we there yet, movie? Like, can we wrap it up? Like, I got places to go. Let's see. Dominic People says, whatever happened to Mickey's Christmas Carol? Did it disappear?
Well, I've seen.
Is it not on Disney Plus?
It's probably on Disney Plus, especially right now.
Yeah, you guys would have to tell us, but
it's okay about the 70s Spider-Man comment, man. No one's upset. I was just letting you know that, like, I've never said anything officially about Spider-Man 70s live action.
Jason says, pokes Titanic with a stick. Come on, do a sink already.
Yeah, right? Do a flip!
A World Made of Cardboard says, Christmas movies seem to be very formulaic, like how every movie is set in New Orleans almost always takes place at Mardi Gras. I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, like, I would hazard to guess that I've watched 75% of all Christmas content on Netflix.
She has.
I mean,
She has.
It's getting thin out there. Like, I'm rewatching the bad Christmas movies from previous years.
When I have seen her turn off a Hallmark or Netflix Christmas movie because she just can't take it, the things I've seen her take in that genre,
it's bad. They're so bad. I remember the other day when I got so mad at the movie I was watching, I was just like live texting you about how mad it was making me. And so, yeah, I mean, I do it just, it's a painful experience, but yet also funny. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, so like they are extremely formulaic. When you start talking about Hallmark type movies, Lifetime movies that are especially Christmas, they literally shot for shot are almost the same movie. Like, I could do a Plinkett review, like how he does certain types of things where he compares a bunch of movies all at the same time. I could do that with holiday movies because now all of them start with a drone flyover of whatever dumb city they're in, you know? And I mean, down to beat for beat, it's the same thing. They have all the same, it's like, I don't even know. I think that's sort of the charm. It's like they've only got 5 ingredients. What are they going to do with it this time? Harry Partridge. Oh, hi, Harry. He says, hi, guys. You might enjoy Father Christmas, a 1991 animated movie in the style of The Snowman, as it was also adapted from a Raymond Briggs book, as was The Snowman, but is more lighthearted.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a great tip.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know Harry Partridge, and who doesn't by this point, Harry Partridge is a immensely talented animator who happens to have a YouTube channel as well, where he is able to give us insight into his, wizard-like ability to create all kinds of cool stuff. So if you haven't checked out Harry Partridge and you like animation, go check it out.
Definitely. Michael Hinkson says, I've got Mickey's Christmas Carol on DVD. Hard to find. Surprise Christmas cartoon episode is Saber Rider episode The Monarch Supreme.
I'll have to check my Saber Rider DVD set. I assume it's on there. If it's not, I'll be shocked.
And mad.
Well,
Retro Wrestling says, is there a Christmas movie starring Marky Mark? One can only dream of something that awesome. I don't think so.
I don't think Mark Wahlberg has done it. No. I feel like he has.
I do think, actually, now that you say that, I do think he has. Somebody yell it out. I know you guys know. You guys know everything. Jason Spears says, Love and Peace from 2015. There's a Region B...
Daddy's Home 2 is set at Christmas.
There's a Region B UK Blu-ray. Trust a stranger on the internet. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for the stream. Oh, yeah.
Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. He's got a sweater on that says Feliz Navidad. It's sick, bro.
I want to watch it now. Oh.
It's got Mel Gibson and John
Everyone's
Lithgow
yelling
in
it out. Like, everyone knew that. It blows my mind that you guys know this.
What they knew about Daddy's Home 2?
Yeah.
Boy, everybody's just spending their lives watching trash filmmaking, aren't they?
Yeah, apparently. It's great, isn't it?
I bet you 90% of the people are like, Daddy's Home 2, what's the Thin Man? And it's like,
it's harder to get those movies. Like, that's not on Netflix,
Yeah.
It's a shame. I mean, Vinkman says, what does Skeletor think of Funko Pops?
They suck.
What does Marky Mark think of Funko Pops?
They all look like sharks. They've all got them black eyes. Creepy.
Has Marky Mark been in any of the Sharknado movies?
No, he is not at that. He has not sunk to that level. He is still.
So he's way above that.
He's way above that because
I
oddly,
just think that would be great.
like Megan Fox is quickly falling to that level in her career. Oddly enough, even though she and Mark Wahlberg have both been in Transformers movies separate from one another, he's continued to ride right above the tree line. Like,
I feel like Megan Fox really hurt herself with all of the Botox and stuff she's done to her face, and I'm not trying to be like, do that if you want, but as an actor that really hurts your ability to emote. I remember the last Ninja Turtles movie we saw, like when we went to see that. Yes, we actually went to see that. I noticed that her face just wouldn't move, and it's got to be very difficult for an actor.
yeah.
Kal-Al48 says, Happy Thanksgiving, Michael and Melinda. Thank you so much for this live stream. I hope you both have a wonderful holiday this year and always. Oh, that's so nice.
That is Kal-Al48 was the guy in the last live stream that had the comment about. I can't think of it. I remember you were asking a question about something, and I had you back up and read the question. Anyway, thank you for the kind comment. Have a great Thanksgiving yourself.
All right.
Zathra says Megan Fox looks like a Funko Pop.
I saw her there was a bunch of clips put together of like reporters asking actresses like really crappy comments and their responses. There was a ton from the Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And Megan Fox was actually in that thing, and
probably from her Ninja Turtles days.
It may have been, but she actually came back with a really good like comeback to the guy, and it almost just made me like her more. Like
I don't know Megan Fox. I don't have anything against her personally as a human being. I'm just saying that like you're saying, when we went and saw that Ninja Turtles movie, I had seen the original Transformers movie where her face actually moved.
Yeah.
And then we saw the Ninja Turtles movie and her face was like,
yeah,
and it wasn't moving. And I was like, what has happened? I don't have any qualifying statements about her as a human.
Sure. Fade to Black says, what about Less Than Zero? It's all about going home for Christmas. Yeah, we don't have a copy of it. Have you ever seen Less Than Zero? It does not seem like the kind of movie you would like.
I haven't seen. I've heard the title, but I haven't seen the movie.
You know what's great? That I believe you guys can and will correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the one with Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles as the song? Like, that's the reason I saw that movie, was because of that song. And also, I'm pretty sure Jamie Gertz is in that movie. And so I just watched anything she was in because she was in The Lost Boys. Bjorn says, can we get a Jimmy Stewart impression?
I assume so. I don't know where you'd pick one up, but Amazon carries everything. I mean, you could buy. Did you see the dirty look she gave me? Horrible.
Here, I'm going to show you a picture of this pie that I made. It's pretty exciting, you guys. It looks.
Yeah. Did you know? And this is true. That's beautiful. Did you know? And this is a true fact. Jimmy Stewart's horse, its name was Pie. That's true. And Pie,
that's great.
Pie was really smart. And you could get the horse to just sort of do things on camera.
So if you fed him a lot of apples, would he be apple pie?
Maybe. But you could just you could say, Pie, you're going to start down the street there, and I'm going to come out of the saloon, and when I do, you're going to come this way. And Pie would just do it. And the directors were just blown away by how smart Pie was. Great horse. Great horse.
Maybe Pie just really liked Jimmy Stewart's voice.
Who wouldn't?
I mean,
who wouldn't?
It's true. Okay. So apparently, yes, I was right. Jamie Gertz. And yes, Robert Downey Jr. is also in Less Than Zero. It's kind of depressing. It's like one of the one of the three leads in the movie is a drug addict. Is it Robert Downey Jr.? I can't recall. Too on the nose.
Odds are.
Yeah, right. And then that really mild-mannered blonde guy is the other guy, and I can never remember his name. I'm sure now you will all yell it out. Matthew says Grumpy Cat's Christmas with Aubrey Plaza as the voice of the cat. You know, that movie got a lot of hate, but you got Grumpy Cat, you got Aubrey Plaza. You really can't lose with that combo.
Well, go back up. Wolfie's answering Chris Worsley's comment about something on 4K. I just want to see what Chris was talking about.
Jaws.
Oh, okay. At least, okay, I've got Jaws on 4K. All right, noted.
Are you trying to keep up with the Joneses with your 4K
I am
collection?
trying to keep up with any like vintage catalog title on 4K that's worth a dang. Except Top Gun. I don't care about that one.
Vinkman says, can Michael say, you'll get your rent when you fix this damn door as Jimmy Stewart?
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door. Yeah. I don't do pipes.
James Spader and Andrew McCarthy. That Andrew McCarthy is the guy that I was trying to think of. What else was he in? He was in a bunch of 80s movies.
Andrew McCarthy? He was in Weekend at Bernie's, Mannequin.
Mannequin, that's the one I was thinking
Pink.
of. You guys, have you seen Mannequin?
Why are we... This is like the major dad conversation all over again.
You need to go get some Mannequin
have you
in your
seen,
life.
Have you seen Major Dad or Mannequin? I mean, these are some treasures. Have you seen Grease 2?
Stop, I'm trying to get him to watch Mannequin. You guys should go watch Mannequin. I know I will.
This is like that whole Conan O'Brien. This is that whole Conan O'Brien ploy, like
Dirty Dancing.
Like, yes, where he kept sprinkling Dirty Dancing love into.
But
a
Dirty
bunch of
Dancing
episodes.
is awesome, and I was.
No, it's not awesome enough to carry a theatrical re-release, and he got them to re-release it, and then the day of the re-release, he's like, "Don't go see it. It's a terrible movie."
Pete Ferreira says Mannequin isn't that bad. I liked it. I remember when I've seen Mannequin and Mannequin 2.
Shocker.
On the Move, right? I think it's what it's called. Pretty sure. You got to remember, though, I also really love Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. So you got to really weigh, like, if you can trust my recommendations for films.
You are literally talking about the cinematic equivalent of, like, the Go-Go's or the Spice Girls or something like, and yet...
You're criticizing the Go-Go's?
I'm not criticizing the Go-Go's.
Wow.
I like the Go-Go's.
You're comparing the Go-Go's to Under Siege 2?
What I'm saying is it's pop filmmaking. It's not... Like, you're usually against pop music, but you love pop filmmaking. It's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But it is what it is. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, so Kenny Long says, I had such a mad crush on Kim Cattrall from Mannequin. That is such a time period piece for me because it came out while I lived in Alaska and we watched it because it came on, like, I think we had HBO. So me and my friends would just, like, constantly watch it. We watched it because they played it over and over and over. And so I've seen it, like, probably 15 or 20 times.
You remember how shocked and, like, blown away I was the night that we watched the first Police Academy.
Yeah.
And Kim Cattrall was the lead next to Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
I had forgotten she was in that movie.
I'd forgotten she was in that totally.
I was pleased, but I was just like, wow. Zathra says, Under Siege 2 is an underrated movie. I agree with you. Michael does not agree with you. Strenuously disagrees.
There's something seriously wrong with this live stream. What? Under Siege 2?
Under Siege 2. Steven Seagal on a train with Katherine Heigl and like that. The guy who is the bad guy is so over the top.
Steven Seagal doesn't sell me. Katherine Heigl definitely doesn't sell me.
I mean, Steven Seagal, I would watch any movie with him in it. I want to watch the TV show where he's literally a cop.
Are you really going to watch On Deadly Ground?
I have watched On Deadly Ground. I love Steven Seagal. I mean, again, you gotta... Anyway. Scuba Pete says, my lips are sealed about the Go-Go's.
Zing!
Keith Holmesley says Marked for Death is a Christmas movie. I know what I'm watching later. I have so many great options. If I had a copy of Mannequin, that's what I'd watch. Amsterdam Comic Geek says, what do you love about Steven Seagal? So what I love about Steven Seagal, thank you for asking, is that he takes himself so seriously. And that's impressive. Like, any movie he's in, it's like he really, it's almost like he believes that he is the character. And he's so, like, if you've ever seen Steven Seagal, like, in an interview or in real life or whatever, he's that guy who, like, always talks about how badass he is. And it's so cringy. But, like, I don't think he's acting, is my point. I think he just is that guy. And so I think it's really funny that they go, let's see Steven Seagal in this situation. Connor Fuller says, Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, Christmas #1 in the UK in 2009. Look it up. It's a Christmas song. Okay. I mean, I'll buy that. I mean, it's certainly better than Mariah Carey's Christmas song, so I'd listen to it 45 times in a row.
You know what's funny about that is Rage Against the Machine, I don't recall them. When were they a thing? Like the 90s?
Late 90s through the aughts.
Okay, so Rage Against the Machine 2009 Christmas song, 2009. I definitely don't remember hearing about them after that. But
They broke up.
Right. After their Christmas song. And most artists that put out a Christmas album, like that's the end of their career.
Didn't Kylie put out a Christmas album?
I was about to bring that up.
Tori put out a Christmas album.
So Kylie puts out a
Lorena McKennitt put out a Christmas album.
Kylie puts out a Christmas album, and everybody, including myself, is like, oh, God, this is going to be the end. This is the end of her career. No.
No.
She comes back with 2 consecutive #1 albums. No, 3. 3 consecutive #1 album releases. Thank you very much.
Dee Snider did a Christmas album? That's hilarious. Did they break up in 2000? Maybe they did. It's, anything that happened after the year 2000 is very gray to me. I don't really remember. Wow, really?
Just gonna leave that there for everybody.
Andre wants a Steven Seagal live stream. That sounds like fun. We don't. What's funny is there aren't, as far as I know, you can please correct me, are there Steven Seagal action figures of anything?
No. Why would anybody want a Steven Seagal action figure?
Raise your hand if you would like a Steven Seagal action figure.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you could literally just have the one, and it could be like for
You
any
know
movie, he's always wearing that long
I bet
black.
you money if they haven't done it, they've got it in the hopper. I bet you Funko Pops has done like an Under Siege Steven Seagal. I bet you money.
All right, well, Under Siege seems like it could have had toys. The first one, maybe not the second one, although it's a missed opportunity. I'm just saying, playset, you could have the door to the train car and the refrigerator door that stops bullets. That's impressive. Vinkman says three #1 Kylie albums.
Yeah, see, exactly. Somebody just asked, Vin's Workshop said, hey, RetroBlasting, do you have the Moose mug from Christmas Vacation? Because I could send one to you guys. Vin's Workshop, do you make the Moose mugs? I am now morbidly curious.
So, creative guy says Steven Seagal beat people to death playset. I like that. Yeah, so I hate Christmas Vacation.
Saw it in the theater in the 80s.
Not a fan of Chevy Chase.
I'm not a Chevy Chase fan, but that's a funny movie.
I really don't like that style of humor, as we've discussed numerous times. That movie is it's a kind of a quintessential example of the kind of things I don't find funny. All those National Lampoon movies are very difficult to watch for me, and I will do anything to not ever have to watch one. I know everyone loves it. It's much like The Princess Bride. I'm sure there's probably a Christmas movie that you don't like that everybody else does like.
You said you don't like an entire swath of films that are of a certain style.
Right, but that one in particular is one that a lot of people do hold fond memories of, which is fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't like it. I'm saying I don't like it. Zathra says Chevy Chase is a, and then just a whole bunch of symbols. But is there a Christmas movie that you don't like? There has to be.
Well, yeah, I'm not exactly somebody that's just, addicted to Christmas movies. I'm not.
Well, you like all of these movies, obviously, because you own them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not somebody that, like, runs out and, I don't buy Christmas movies as a rule. Like, I don't own The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, for example. I don't hate it, but I don't want it. I'm not somebody that races out to watch Christmas movies. That's not. You watch Christmas movies.
I do.
I don't. So, like,
I've already started decorating, you guys.
I'm like, the actual movies that are about Christmas, that Christmas is in the title, that I own. Elf.
And that may be it.
Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, unless you're talking about, like, the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
I have the Charlie Brown, but that's a TV special.
Yeah,
I don't.
Movies. Yeah, I get it.
Like, movie. I have the Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. Remember that one? The Rankin Bass? That was really cool. But I don't, as far as movies go, I don't have Christmas movies. Like, if you were to go out and find on Blu-ray or something The Ref to own that, I would watch that, because that's, like,
amazing.
It's a great movie. But I'm
but
not,
so is Trading Places.
I'm probably not going to sit down every year and watch Santa Claus the movie. Like, I'm just not.
I mean, to me, it has, like, Home Alone I do watch every year. Like, and it never gets old. But like I said, a big part of that is the soundtrack. It is absolutely magnificent. It's gold, Jerry. A World Made of Cardboard says the closest I came to watching Seagal was watching his daughter in a Gamera movie.
Gamera movie. I did not know she did a Gamera movie.
I didn't either.
It's shocking.
Zathra says, Melinda, which is better, Miracle on 42nd Street or It's a Wonderful Life? Is now the time to say I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life?
It was Miracle on 34th Street.
I thought it was too. Either way, that movie versus
It's 34th Street
versus It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
I have it on 4K, and she keeps saying we're going to watch it, but we didn't watch it last Christmas, and we didn't watch it the Christmas before. So unless we watch it this Christmas, I don't even know why I bought it. Do you know that 6 years ago, might be 7 years ago now, I bought The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe for us to watch for Halloween? We still haven't watched it.
I forgot we had that.
You see why she forgets that we have things.
Sometimes I'm in a mood to watch Under Siege 2 again. Or The Christmas Cabin. Or things like that. Yeah. So, Map Film Production says, ironically, A Boy Named Charlie Brown is my Christmas movie. Not sure why, but I hear... What the hell?
There was a gnat.
I hear... Now you made me lose my place. I'm not sure why, but I hear them. I think of Christmas morning. A Boy Named Charlie Brown. Okay. Charlie Brown, I love the Charlie Brown Peanut stuff, so don't get me wrong, but it's hard for me to watch because I just want to stab Lucy. Let's see. Alvaro says, what about Nightmare Before Christmas? Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas is both a Halloween and a Christmas movie, which is awesome.
I thought we had a super chat from Midnight's Edge.
I'll scroll back up in a second. Jeff David Lowe says, happy Thanksgiving. It's great to do this year. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie, and Ghostbusters 2 action figure Ray with Santa hat.
Yeah, that's why we have Ghostbusters 2 up here. Go back up. I think there is a Midnight's Edge super chat somewhere.
Midnight's Edge. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Midnight's
Thanks.
Edge. Thanks so much. I've been watching your latest video releases and following the drama. So it's been a nice way to get through the silly season, as it were.
Bill Murray Scrooged is a must every Christmas from GamerX. Yes, I agree. I saw that in the theater, and I do watch it on pretty regularly. Is it Carol Kane as the fairy, the
Yes.
ghost of Christmas Present?
Yes.
Love her. She almost makes that movie for me because
Well,
she's
you also
so.
like her, isn't she? In Adam's Family
She's
Values?
in Adam's Family Values. She took over the role of Grandma, and
Yes.
she's in a couple other things. I love her. She's underused, much like Joan Cusack,
Mm-hmm.
who I love in everything I've ever seen her in. Corey says, was Gremlins Christmas? Yes, it 100% was Christmas. Zathra says, worst Christmas movie, A Very Brady Christmas. Ooh, that sounds terrible.
Midnight's Edge. I'm always happy to come back on your show. It was a privilege to be on there one time, and it's one of the highlights of my YouTube experience so far. And that's said without any intention for flattery. I was really excited. Just to be asked.
It's an honor just being asked. Wes says, bet Melinda hates It's a Wonderful Life. I don't think so.
I doubt it. She likes Jimmy Stewart.
I
a
love
lot.
Jimmy Stewart, and I already know the whole plot, so I feel like I've seen it. Pete Ferreira says, what do you guys think of the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell? Did we already talk about this? Or
I posted about it on my personal page
Okay.
today. The thing that did you see it with Kurt
I
Russell's?
feel like I did.
He's playing Santa Claus in some Netflix films. They're produced.
I've avoided watching them because, weirdly, I don't love movies that are about Santa or his extended family. But I will make an exception and watch that if you want to, because I do love Kurt Russell.
Well, interestingly, I just read this article about it. Chris Columbus, who directed the first two Harry Potter movies, was producing the first one last year or whenever that one came out. And he said that he was shocked as the producer when they were working on the film, because he found out that Kurt Russell, who's a very serious actor anyway, he's an underrated serious actor,
Yeah.
wrote a 170-page backstory for Santa Claus for his own motivation. Right?
Wow.
And then turned around and put so much effort into every aspect of the character, including the way he's costumed, the way his beard grows, all that kind of stuff. You know, because he grows his own real beard because he's Kurt Russell for this thing. And so Chris Columbus, when they said it did real well, we're going to do a sequel on Netflix, he said, I would like to move from producer to director on this one. So the director of Harry Potter, has directed this new one. And apparently Kurt Russell told him to his face, he said, this is the role that I want to end my career. He's like, I'll keep doing Santa Claus. He's like, until we decide we're not going to do these anymore or there's no story left to tell. He's like, but I want this to be the role, and after this I walk off into the sunset. And so Chris Columbus was just like, this is crazy. Like, he's almost 70, and he's really loving working on this. And the new one, Goldie Hawn is in it as Mrs. Claus. So I was kind of like,
Okay.
all right, that doesn't sound bad.
My mom enjoys them quite a bit, but, my mom, of course, I can't say anything. She'll watch all these Christmas movies, too. So when we talk on the phone, it's like, have you seen this one? Oh, you got to check this one out. And she was like telling me I should watch it, but I was like,
yeah, when I saw him playing Santa, the first thing I thought of was, the Santa Claus the movie, all that kind of stuff. And I shouldn't have ruled Kurt Russell out. He wouldn't have taken the script unless it was decent.
Let's see. Chris Worsley says, if you love Joan Cusack, do not watch Mars Needs Moms. The CG Joan will creep you out. That doesn't sound good. GamerX says, what is the most metal Christmas movie?
Good luck.
Silent Night, Deadly Night? I don't know. I guess. I mean, I would say probably First Blood.
It's a good pick. Although Batman Returns.
I would say one of those. Probably.
Mhm.
This one's probably a little more Christmas specific, whereas this is very just adjacent. Like
Right.
it's just happens to be occurring at Christmas. Um, let's see. Be Kind Rewind says, have you seen the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special?
I've seen it, yes. As a matter of fact, Melinda and I went and watched it at a Cineprov one time.
It's true, we did.
We watched live riffing of it. Mm-hmm.
P. Ferreira says the ref was retitled Hostile Hostages for the UK.
I remember that.
That's cool.
I remember seeing the tube posters for that. Holy crap, I'd totally forgotten that.
Don't you love those moments?
Yeah, boom.
Oppo says, which of those movies in your on the table is your all-time favorite? Of these, I guess of these movies, what's your favorite?
Yeah, because my all-time favorite is Lawrence of Arabia. It's not up here.
Mine is First Blood.
Yeah, First Blood is definitely probably my favorite of all the ones up here as well. Yeah, First Blood. But I like all of these
closely
movies.
Followed by Deadpool.
Well, this is Deadpool 2. But
I know, Deadpool 2.
The PG-13 Once Upon a Deadpool version with Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you do love Deadpool 2.
I do love Deadpool 2.
You do. And the ref isn't up here, so
right.
I would probably... I do watch it a lot. Michael will tell you. I have it on streaming, and I know you hate that, but I bought it one year just because I was like, I want to watch it right now. I don't want to order it. And so that's why I've just always kept watching it there. Vinkman says, The Hound of the Baskervilles 2002 TV movie with Richard Roxburgh was set at Christmas because of an edict from the BBC who wanted it to air on Christmas. Not a good movie. Far too many deviations from the source material. Interesting. Who was playing... Oh, it says Richard Roxburgh. I don't know that. I haven't seen that at all. Did we tell the... Because it came up earlier, On Her Majesty's Secret Service came up earlier.
Yeah,
because
the Bond film.
Because it's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, yeah. I was trying to find the ref on Blu-ray for her, but it's not on Blu-ray.
So you should tell the people what we learned this past week about On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
You see the way she talks to me like I'm 7? You should tell all the people about what we learned last week in school.
And what did we learn? JSP says, let us remember with fondness what happened around this time in 1978, the big WKRP turkey giveaway.
Yeah, that's the one where they think turkeys can fly and they throw them off the roof.
Yeah, it's really upsetting, and I like to not
It's all
think
done
about
in
it.
audio.
I remember being real upset about that as a kid. I'm just saying. Just saying.
George Lazenby talked himself into the role. That's the short version.
Wow. There's a great Dollop podcast episode about George Lazenby, and you should listen to it if you have any interest, because it's really stunning how he managed to talk his way into the role, get that role with no acting experience, and then all the things that happened. It's really interesting.
I think since we're 15 minutes away from the 2-hour mark, I think we should open one package, and I think that package is on the table upstairs, the one we brought in.
Okay. Well, I'm very faint feeling, so because I haven't eaten today. So if you could go get it, that would be great.
That's what I'm going to go do. I thought you were going to have to get up for a second or something.
Let's see. Vinkman says the 2002 Hound of the Baskervilles was like if Zack Snyder directed a Sherlock Holmes movie. Oh my God. That's the worst sounding thing I've ever heard. I love Sherlock Holmes. He's one of my favorites. So that just sounds awful. Midnight's Edge says, you need to let me know if you want to join us for our Bond reviews, Michael. I will tell him that when he gets back, Midnight's Edge. I'm sure he'll be excited to participate in that for sure. He has very strong feelings about Bond and has seen all of them. So, Jason Anderson, Thanksgiving presents. Yes, we don't call them presents, I have been told, but we definitely want to make sure to open this one anyway. We'll save the others for. Thanks. We'll save the others. I don't want to eat on camera. It's too loud. It's kind of gross. Twizzlers are fine because they don't crunch.
Twizzler?
No.
See?
Sugar. I'm saying
There's no
I
self-preservation
wasn't criticizing you is what my point is. So Midnight's Edge had said to you while you were gone, he said, you need to let me know if you want to join us for our Bond reviews.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. I don't want to impose.
That's a yes. So just he says, Midnight's Edge says, we just received Dr. No last week. I've never seen them, so taking the journey.
Oh, you've never seen all the Bond films? This is going to be fun for you, man.
Wolfie says, Michael Melinda, what are you making for vegetarian Thanksgiving this year? We make Parano with 2 other cheeses, mac and cheese every year. Happy holidays. I'm making way too much food, but I just love to cook, and so I get to cook myself this year. So I'm making a vegetarian turkey. It's made by Quorn, and I do this special like roast where I put like rosemary and a bunch of herbs and stuff like that with potatoes and carrots and onions all together in the pan, and then I'm gonna have Southern style dumplings and a vegetarian broth, and I'm gonna have green beans and a broccoli cheese casserole. So, and of course the pie, which I'm super excited about. David Williams, yes, we are married. We just got married in October.
So this is from Aaron Root from Belgium. And it's come all the way to Woodstock. Oh, wow.
It's a little chocolate deer. It's Belgian.
This is a Bondi
Wow.
Los Caballeros del
Los Caballeros.
Del
Zodiaco. Yeah.
from 1987. And it's a Pisces action figure.
It's like Pisces.
Right.
That's Cowboys of the Stars, right?
Uh-huh.
Am I translating that correctly? My Spanish is not perfect.
And then he sent the Tamiya catalog card for all of the Tamiya model kits for A Bridge Too Far, which is really cool. And he sent a cardstock advertisement for Macross
Makuros.
model kits. Oh, crap!
I was like, why are you doing that? What's that?
I'm about to find out. Says here.
It's a Belgian reindeer chocolate. Knights of the Zodiac. Oh, okay.
Says,
Knights of the Zodiac.
Dear RetroBlasting, thanks for all the entertainment. I limit myself to collecting only one series, 1987 Saint Seiya, Japanese anime, aka Les Chevaliers du Zodiac, Los Caballeros del Zodiaco, Spain. But I can relive all the other series through your videos. What's in the box? A Spanish Saint Seiya Gold Saint, Pisces with die-cast armor, posable on the figure. Dude.
Amazing.
Along with Belgian chocolate and World War II model kit promos. Anything Japanese Bondi vintage with a box, what do you say except thank you so much? I'm gonna have to find a place to display this. And the thing about Japanese stuff, of course, is that you always want to display the box as well because the artwork is always so fantastic. And this one is no exception. Oh, and it's got the flap that.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to see it.
Let me pull this away.
Neat.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Very nice. Here, let me see if you can actually see it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you so much. Or I'm sorry, Aram. I think that's an M. Aram. Thank you so much, Aram.
Let's see. Midnight's Edge says he will get a hold of you for sure. Let's see what else we got. Any closing words from you, Michael?
Closing words.
What's your
me?
favorite? Did you already answer this? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie is...
Whether it's an on-the-nose, obvious Christmas movie like Elf, or whether it is a holiday-adjacent movie.
I do not know how to answer that.
Really?
I don't.
Rarely is he stumped.
Because I don't want to say it because I'm afraid that I'll have forgotten something key. And then I'll be like, oh no, that's my favorite.
I feel like mine is The Ref, followed closely by Trading Places.
Can you still watch The Ref now that it's got Kevin Spacey in it?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's also much like Star Trek: The Motion Picture. You know, it's a little tainted, but at the same time, like, it's a great movie, and the movie kind of transcends the actor. Particularly because in both of those cases, that actor is not like... It'd be different if it were like a First Blood movie and the whole movie is about him. Whereas, you know, in The Ref, Kevin Spacey is one of the main characters, but to me, the main character is Dennis Leary. I always
Leary.
yeah. So Dennis Leary steals the show in that movie. Like, he is hilarious. I love him. He's the reason I watch the movie. Kevin Spacey just happens to be there.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of like Kirk and Spock are the reason that I love the Star Trek movie.
Right.
That other guy just happens to be, and you don't even like him in the movie anyway.
Decker.
So.
Stephen Collins.
Right. I couldn't think of the actor's name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it some thought and figure out what my favorite...
You need to figure it out.
What my favorite movie that has Christmas in it is, and then I'll get
It's
back
The
to you.
Christmas Cabin.
No, it's not.
Check it out.
That film is horrible. I can't even call it a film. It's
No.
like a cinematic postage stamp that's poorly drawn.
It was really bad.
It's terrible.
I want to watch it again.
Not as bad as What a Girl Wants. I'll say that much. You know why? Because I was able to get through A Christmas Cabin. Couldn't even get through What a Girl Wants.
I finished it without you.
Oh, come on.
Keith, if you don't know what's wrong with Stephen Collins, you really need to go look that up on the Google, because I am not going to talk about it here. Yeah. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, Zathras. I'm down for it.
Which movie does Admiral Stone like?
Feel free to disagree. I love the movie. I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
Scuba Pete says Michael trapped in the Christmas cabin of holiday horror.
It was horrible. It was horrible. But now
really bad.
Now I feel free, like, to just get up and leave.
You know what's nice about that movie, though, is that it basically the whole thing took place inside of a cabin.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
So, I mean, that does really cut down on your costs. The thing about those movies is they're very cheap to make.
No, you don't say.
And they just keep it cheap. Like, they don't... You'd think that if they had, like, a little extra left over in the budget, they could, like... But
Awful.
No.
Yes. Yes. Awful.
Keith says Michael loves Christmas shoes. Isn't that a movie, The Christmas Shoes?
I don't know if there's a Christmas Shoes movie. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing left.
Just Joe 47 says Jaws the Revenge, the shark roars like a dinosaur.
But is it a Christmas dinosaur?
It doesn't matter. That's funny.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go turn the stream off. Unless
Yeah,
anybody has any objections.
I really do need to eat something because I'm starting to feel a little wacky.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get back to the rest of our day. You guys get back to the rest of your holiday. I hope you guys have relaxing, safe, healthy holidays. And if you're not celebrating a holiday, I hope you guys are just well where you are. As Melinda will tell you, I would give anything to be saying that I was, recognizing today on the calendar from, say, Scotland or Cornwall or, Guernsey or any place like that.
Yeah.
But it's not in the cards right now. So in any sense, I'm going to go turn the stream off.
Kevin, thank you for the super chat. He says, love all the content. Thank you. You're very welcome.
We will be back on Saturday with a live stream. I'm also working on the next video, which some of you might have seen previewed. It's the thought piece about NECA. That might actually, it might land before the Saturday live stream, but I've only got one day between now and then, so it's tight. I don't know if that'll happen. But the next video before November ends will be the NECA thought piece. And then I'm moving right into Bionic 6. So in the meantime, you guys know how to get in touch with us, and we'll see you on Saturday with the normal Saturday live stream.
Have a great rest of your day, whether you're celebrating or not, and have some delicious pie if you have the opportunity. I am, for sure. Extra helping because I'm super hungry. Bye now.